Hey guys, now in this video, let's understand Kubernetes service and why we need it. And of course, we will see the demo as well. See guys, until now, we are accessing our app locally, that is from our local laptop using port forwarding. See again guys, we have a .NET app which is running inside this Kubernetes pod. So this application which is running in pod, we are accessing it from locally using port forwarding. So it's good for local testing, but then it has two major problems. Port forwarding is connected to a specific pod. So if that pod fails or it gets deleted, then port forwarding will not work. So what I mean is, let's say we have this pod 1 and this is our local browser. So from our browser, we are connecting to this pod 1 through port forwarding. So we say PF, port forwarding. But the problem is this port forwarding is attached to this pod 1. Now if this pod gets deleted and if a new pod gets created, now from our browser we cannot connect to pod 2. Again, because port forwarding, it is attached to a specific pod. And second problem, as you can guess, as port forwarding connects to a specific pod, it cannot distribute traffic across multiple pods. So for example, let's say we have pod 1, pod 2, pod 3. Even though we have 3 pods, it will continue to redirect the traffic to this pod 1 only. And hence, to solve this problem, we have Kubernetes Service. So in simple words, Kubernetes Service provides a stable way to access one or more pods. So basically Kubernetes Service sits in front of the pods. So let's say here we have these pods. So instead of this port forwarding, we will have service over here. And now locally from our browser, we will connect to the pods through this service. So pods may come and go, but service remains. So for example, let's say this pod 1, it gets deleted and now pod 4 gets created. So for us, that's fine. We are not even aware about that. We still continue to refer or access these pods through service. We are not even aware that pod 1 got replaced with pod 4. And of course, one service can point to multiple pods. So now again, if you observe this diagram, so let's say this is user or our local browser. So from browser, obviously we want to connect to these pods. So instead of using port forwarding, here we are using service. So from browser to service to the pods, and ultimately these pods, they contain our ASP.NET Core application. So I guess the concept is clear, and now let's move to the demo. So again guys, this is the project which we are working on, and now we need to add a service. So let's create service.yml. So right click, add new item, YAML file, and I will say service.yml and I will say add. And now here I will paste this code. So again guys, don't worry about this code. This code will be available on the GitHub. So first, if you see, the kind is service. So that is, we are creating a resource of type service in Kubernetes. Then this is the name of our service. Now the important thing, see this selector app. It says our first K8 app. So somewhere this selector, we have to map or we have to match it in our deployment.yml file, so that our service.yml gets connected to our deployment.yml, or there should be something common in this service.yml and deployment.yml. So we can say this service is connected or it is linked with this deployment, right? So here if you go to this deployment YAML, okay, so before that observe this app, it says our first K8 app, and if you go to this deployment.yml, Now guys, observe these labels, and under this as well we have this app, that is our first K8 app. So for simplicity I will add this comment, that is service selector matches this label. So again, under labels app, you see our first K8 app. So let me save it, and exactly under this service.yml we have selector, that is app, our first K8 app. So in simple words, this service is now linked with this deployment, and now we know that deployment creates pods. Now let's go to this deployment.yml again, and now you see under replicas we are saying one, that means only one pod should be created. So now as usual, let's open PowerShell in admin mode. I'll say PowerShell run as admin. Let's maximize clear screen. And now first let's go to the location where we have our application. So Visual Studio, right click, open folder. Let's copy this path, and here I will say cd that path. Great. And now clear screen. Now let's first verify if we have any deployments or any pods running. So I will say kubectl get deployments. So no deployment running. Similarly, kubectl get pods, no pod is running. Perfect. So that means no instance of our application is running. So I will clear screen again. So as you can guess, now the first step, we should create this deployment. That is, ultimately this deployment should create one pod. And see this, under replica we have one. So to create this deployment, I will say kubectl apply and deployment.yml. That means an object of type deployment will get created, and it will indirectly create a pod as well. So let's say enter. So yes, deployment is created, and let's cross check. So we'll say get deployments. So yes, I can see a deployment, and if I say get pods, so yes, we can see the pod as well, and see the name of pod. It says our first K8 app hyphen deployment and then some random number. So definitely this pod has been created through deployment. So now the pod is running. Now one way to connect to this pod is of course port forwarding, but now we don't want to do that. So we are going to use service. So now similar to this deployment, let's create service object as well. So here I will say, okay, before that, let's say ls, and see this, we can see this service.yml. So now I will run this command, that is kubectl apply service.yml, that is create a configuration of whatever type is specified in this service.yml, and in this service.yml we have said kind is service. So let's say enter. So yes, service is created, and now the most important thing, now through this service, right, we should be able to connect to this pod through our local browser, right? And for that I will say minikube service and then our service name. Okay, so guys, before we run this command, let me just say kubectl get services. So you see now this service has been created, and now of course from our local browser we want to connect to the app which is running inside the pod. So here I will say minikube service and then our service name. So in simple words, this command will allow our local browser to access this service, and now we know that this service, it is connected to the deployment, and then that deployment is connected to the pod. So that means now through this service from our local browser we should be able to access our application. So again, this command is now allowing an access to the Kubernetes service which we just created from our local browser. So I will say enter, and see automatically it opened the browser and it started the application. So that's it guys for this video. Thanks for listening.